chronically disabled, and my favorite person suddenly told me I need to have children. Hey everyone, welcome back to Childfree for Life. Don't forget to subscribe to be a for lifer. So for context, I'm female and 18 in a few months. My cousin, Jamie, 25-year-old female, who is older, has always been my favorite person, as we played video games, watched Naruto, and did many things together as teens. We always got into deep conversations about politics, philosophy, and the meaning of life, since we were such nerds. LOL. We often talked about our futures, deciding that having children was not worth it and unaffordable. Years later, she got her first boyfriend. They're still together. At the same time, her brother had a baby. And around that same time, I was 16 years old, I got diagnosed with a chronic condition. The condition I got diagnosed with is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a chronic disorder that basically causes collagen in the body to be crap. It causes pain, hyperflexibility, and a hell of a lot of associated problems such as vision problems, migraines, reproductive issues. I was also basically told by the doctor to never get pregnant because that can kill me, worsen the condition, and have a 1 in 4 chance of a child inheriting it. Since I've always been child-free, that was no issue. I told my family, including my cousin, about the condition 3 years ago, so they're fully aware it affects me. I then moved far to get specialized medical treatment and to keep studying at university. So about 3 years of not seeing my cousin had passed before I met her again a few days ago. We were really happy until the conversation of having children. I was shocked that this was the same person with which I talked for hours until the early morning about the future of the world. Her stance had completely changed after seeing her brother's baby and how cute it is. So she wanted one too. She then asked me if I was planning to have any kids in the future, and I said no. Why? She asked. So I responded about the condition, how it was too risky. But she said it's a risk I should be willing to take, since all women have children by 35. Mind you that we both have a 50-year-old aunt who never had kids. I said that I could likely die, so then she suggested IVF. I responded with the fact that it can be inherited, but she said it was a 75% chance of not, etc. First off, I was dumbfounded as to why I should risk my life for a child I do not want, and at how delusional she was sounding, so I kept arguing against her. Finally, my aunt, her mom, overheard the conversation and told her daughter to not bother me about my life choices, which I greatly appreciated. I'm honestly baffled that this is the same person I spent so much time with. It seems like she got roped into the breeder mentality due to her boyfriend and then her brother's baby, not giving a second thought at how I'm unable to fit into that life script. I was even more baffled that my 6-year-old Mormon aunt was supportive of my decision rather than my cousin. Anyway, I left feeling defeated and sad for the loss of my cousin, but alas, this is not the first time I've been bingoed by others who know of my condition. I still wonder if I should let her know her comments were hurtful. Too long didn't read. After not seeing my favorite cousin for 3 years, she got roped into the breeder mentality, telling me, disabled person, to have kids. Any thoughts? Ehlers-Danlos is a B. My ex had endured 29 surgeries, mostly ligament replacements, by the time she was 17. We married after agreeing that we would never have children. Her mother privately convinced her to change her mind, so she went off the pill without telling me. I divorced her immediately. She had a kid with her next husband, it nearly killed her, and she was unable to do much of the parenting. Her son inherited it. He also now has 3 kids. I loathe people who knowingly risk passing painful, life-limiting conditions to their children for no better reason than to satisfy their selfish desire to procreate. Frankly, I think they should be charged for child abuse. Honestly, if I wanted kids but had some sort of genetic condition, I would 1. Get an egg donor and IVF, 2. Adopt, or 3. IVF with genetic testing before they plant the fertilized egg in me. Yes, these options are super expensive, but so is having to care for a child with a medical condition. These options are available. The option of being child-free is 100% free in a financial sense, but it looks like nobody really gives a crap. Come on. One can't be that freaking selfish to just pop out unhealthy children because I wanted kids. It's your responsibility to make sure you don't curse someone with a crappy life. Although I have the hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a supposedly mild type of EDS, it's still awful. I've always been told I have the health problems of a 70-year-old since I was 5, and the back pain only gets worse for me. I would never willingly pass on pain 24/7 to some poor child, nor adopt one who would have to basically become my caretaker since I am disabled. I also loathe people who knowingly pass on conditions like these. I found being direct ends conversations in the future. I had a friend who was constantly bingoing me, and I said, "It has taken me quite a lot of thought to get to this point, and you are not going to convince me otherwise. Please respect my decisions. They don't affect your life choices, they only affect mine." She agreed and didn't bring it up again. The fact that she said you should risk your life and or risk the baby inheriting a painful condition rather than immediately moving to suggesting adoption is the part that disturbs me the most. And of course, after you tell a person one time that you've made your decision and you don't wish to discuss it further, they should respect your decision and change the conversation and not bring it up again. You're right. It was like any reasoning was thrown out the window for the sake of having a baby, which is really dumb. Even adoption seems like a dumb idea considering I'm, again, literally disabled and unable to care for a kid. She shouldn't have pushed on not respecting my decision, but at least my aunt told her off for doing that. I have EDS as well. What I notice is that people who know I have it tend to forget about it. I look fine on the outside, but I'm physically disabled. Maybe this makes it easier for people to be this ignorant. Having that said, there is no excuse for your cousin's behavior. Pregnancy can not only kill people like us, but permanently worsen our disabilities if we survive, or create another human being who will become disabled. My own mother, who carries the genetic mutation, thinks I should have children despite knowing the risks. She doesn't know I'm sterilized. Personally, I'd make sure that person knows all the risks, and if they still don't get it, they're not worth my time. Tell her. Might not help, but maybe it will eventually get through. You're young, and you have an invisible condition, and people aren't gonna get it. Only you can decide if you want to be a walking TED Talk, teaching people about EDS and child-free options. On a side note, as soon as you turn 18, get an advanced care directive and start talking with the doctor who told you to never get pregnant about sterilization surgery. You might have to get tubal coils or an IUD first. Read the other comments here about insurance difficulties or problems with doctors doing a procedure on someone young. I'm assuming you have a support system of people who have the same or similar medical issues. If there isn't one in your local area, please look online. Stay strong, stay well. Thank you so much for the reply. I actually went on a shopping trip with my cousin and we had fun. So I still think there's a chance she would be willing to understand if I explained it to her how hurtful her comments were and why I chose to be child-free. On a side note, you are sure right about being young and having an invisible condition makes people not understand me often. I've had actual medical professionals tell me that I can still have kids if I take care of myself and seek medical care through my pregnancy. Like, what the frick is wrong with them? They say that not having kids will make me regret it when I'm 40. But I obviously think dying or worsening my condition would be worse than regretting not having kids. I am asexual as well as child-free, so I doubt sterilization surgery is necessary. Also, my condition probably would cause scarring issues if I had surgery, so it is not very recommended for me. I still have thought of asking a doctor if I have the possibility of getting it. But in any case that I could get pregnant, you bet I would immediately have an abortion. I appreciate that you mentioned it because it could be life-saving if I were an ace and were able to get sterilized. I don't have a support system, to be honest, since those who have EDS that I know of actually want to get pregnant, possibly die, and likely pass down the condition, just for the sake of experiencing motherhood. It was too toxic for me to handle, so I got out of those groups. I guess it's something I've always dealt with and most likely deal with on my own, so I'll likely be fine. Anyway, sorry for the lengthy response. I seriously appreciate your reply. I have EDS myself. I have 3 sisters. At least one of them got it as well, so it ended up 50% in my family. We both have the hypermobility thing. I got the bruising and migraines, and we both got the reproductive issue, endometriosis and adenomyosis. Though I missed out on PCOS, my sister didn't. I've had 4 surgeries in 3 years, including a hysterectomy, and while it's helped for a short time, the adhesions always result in more pain in the long run. I, for one, am completely against even thinking about passing this on, but then I decided I was child-free before my health went to crap. If your cousin didn't understand, I'm not sure if she will if you explain. The whole "I might die if I try to carry a child" thing doesn't always stop them. She brought up IVF. Yeah, that's great for helping you conceive if you wanted, but I still have to carry the damn thing, which is also dangerous. My best advice is to tell her that this is not up for discussion, and getting pregnant could kill you, and you refuse to take the risk. If she can't respect that, then she can piss off.